Happy Friday to you. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for being here on Up with KREM with us. Nicole Hernandez told us this fog and cold weather would be here today. Nicole, how long is it sticking around?
So we've got fog this morning. Our advisories are actually going to expire about 10 o'clock, but then we have a chance for more fog tomorrow before our forecast starts to switch it up on us and we get some changes in our pattern on Sunday. For right now, we can see the Coeur d'Alene area. You can see a little bit of fog out there along the horizon. The little mountain behind this live look should be a little bit more in view than it is right now. We are cold though across the region with 20 degrees in the Spokane area on top of that fog. Right now, the worst spot for the fog is just west of Spokane with less than a quarter-mile visibility over there. Coeur d'Alene, also the other little spot that's seeing some fog. Right now, Deer Park clearing up pretty significantly in the past 30 minutes, now with basically normal 9 miles of visibility out there. Spokane down to 7-mile visibility now, which isn't all that crazy, but enough to look out for with freezing conditions and moisture, meaning potential ice on the roads. We do have dense fog advisories in place right now across the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area and north because of this warning of patches of potentially less than quarter-mile visibility. That will expire again at 10 this morning. Looking forward on our radar, fog is pretty much all we're seeing for the rest of the day. There is a chance for a few potential flurries that pop up here and there, bringing nothing significant to us. And it looks like that through the Friday into our Saturday as well, even with some potential sunshine here and there as the clouds move around.
In a developing story, an Airway Heights couple is being investigated after police in South Dakota found the body of an 8-year-old girl in the back of their U-Haul trailer. Police in South Dakota discovered the body when the local coroner was contacted by the couple who said they were traveling from Washington State to South Dakota with their deceased adopted daughter who died back in September. Her death was never reported to police. Police say the couple said they held on to the child's body for nearly 3 months so that they could, quote, spend more time with her.
Officers from the Mitchell Police Department were able to locate Kamarov and Miller at a residence in Mitchell with the U-Haul towed behind the trailer. They stated it contained a coffin with Miller's juvenile daughter's body inside.
The couple was arrested for failing to report the death of a child to law enforcement. How this little girl died is the main focus of the investigation right now. And in an update on a story we first brought you as breaking news here on Up with KREM, we are waiting to learn more about a deadly officer-involved shooting in Pullman. It happened early yesterday morning, triggering a shelter-in-place alert for portions of Washington State University. Authorities say the suspect was threatening his roommates and did not respond to authorities when a SWAT member then shot and killed him. Two roommates got out without any injuries. Meanwhile, students living nearby evacuated as a precaution.
As a student, it's very scary. You don't really know, who people are sometimes, especially it being a really big school. So you never really know if you're close to danger.
Washington State Patrol will now lead the investigation into the shooting, which is standard protocol. The time now is just about 7:05 here. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Crews are wrapping up construction near Freya after months of delays. Construction began in March and was only expected to last 6 months. However, the city of Spokane says theft, cold weather, and snow pushed their timeline back. The Panhandle Health District reporting 4 flu deaths. 3 Kootenai County residents and 1 Bonner County resident, all over the age of 80, died of the flu. These are the first flu deaths the Panhandle Health District has reported this flu season. The positivity rate for the flu in the district is about 30% compared to just 3% last year. Washington Governor Jay Inslee issued an emergency proclamation for counties impacted by severe autumn storms that happened between November 3rd and November 8th. Some of those include counties like Skagit and Snohomish in western Washington and Okanogan County in northeastern Washington. The storms caused power outages, road damage, and damage to public utilities. The order will allow agencies to utilize state resources to help those impacted by the storms. While a judge is pumping the brakes on part of Oregon's strict new gun control laws, a state judge is delaying the magazine capacity provision from going into effect. The voter-approved measure would ban magazines capable of holding more than 10 rounds. The judge is also keeping the permitting aspect of the measure on hold. The judge says more time is needed to determine the measure's constitutionality and for the state to be ready to handle the permitting process. And that's a look at your morning rush. The Seattle Seahawks' final chance of a straight shot for a playoff spot is gone. Last night, the team lost to the 49ers. KREM 2 Sports Director Travis Green telling us what this means for the team moving forward.
A big in-division game last night, the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football, and I sure hope you get free shipping and handling or you weren't able to watch this one. On Amazon Prime, Seahawks hosting Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Purdy, of course, started the season as the third-string quarterback with Garoppolo and Lance out. He's in as the starter. Niners the first to strike. Purdy with the fake left, fake right, and look at that, it's a wide-open George Kittle. 28-yard score leads to a quick 7-zip San Fran lead. Not much scoring till late in the second quarter. Now a 7-3 game. Geno Smith dumps it to Travis Homer, and that's more like a bloop single. Homer coughs it up, and Charvarius Ward recovers, and oh boy, takes it 40 yards. Great field position for the Niners, and they would capitalize. Christian McCaffrey with 108 yards on the ground. Here's one of them to make it 14-3 right before half. That one hurt big time for Seattle. Second half, starting just how the first started. Purdy with a wide open George Kittle. Seattle, I have a good idea for you here. Cover 85. He's pretty good at football. Doing my best to avoid a corny Purdy joke here. Kittle with the yak for the TD. 93 yards and a pair of TDs for the tight end. The Seahawks would make a game of it late. About 3:30 left to go. Geno Smith finding Noah Fant in the end zone. Fant, of course, part of that Russell Wilson trade. That made it 21-13, but it wound up being too little, too late. The Seahawks fall 21-13. The Niners pick up win number 10 on the season and clinch the NFC West title.
I really love this team, and I like what they bring and how they go about their work and the attitude, the mentality of it. And I wanted so much for this week to be a reward, that they could really take something out of it and help us take the next step. And I had it all planned. I had figured out what I was going to say to them and everything. It just didn't happen. So maybe it's next week.
It's very unfortunate that we didn't get it done tonight. I think our fans deserve it. Our city deserves it. I don't know if I have all the right words, but man, I just hate losing, and I got figured out.
With the loss, the Seahawks drop to 7-7 and now have to get a wild card spot to make the playoffs. Here's a look at the NFC wild card race. The Cowboys sit at 10-3, almost a guarantee they get in, so just 2 spots left. The NFC Beast right now would get all 4 teams in. The Giants and Commanders at the top. The Seahawks just behind them. Of course, the Seahawks, the only team who have played so far this week. The Lions about as hot as they come, right behind Seattle. In the NFC South, it's just a mess. Not pictured the Buccaneers because they currently lead the division at 6-7. The Panthers and Falcons could still win that division, though, so all 3 in play here. Not pictured the Packers at 5-8. As many as 9 teams technically still have a shot. A tough loss last night for the team, but a tough loss on the field as well. Tyler Lockett sustained a broken finger/hand is what they're calling it. Here's the play he got injured on. Hard to tell, but he'll likely miss some time going forward. Here's head coach Pete Carroll on the injury.
Tyler Lockett broke a bone in his hand, and his index finger right in here, and it's legit and all that, and we got to figure out what's the right way to go. I can't even fathom that. I can't fathom playing without Tyler.
Next week's Christmas Eve game against the Chiefs becomes all that much more important. That's it for sports.
Well, get ready for a Zag-filled weekend right here on KREM 2. The Gonzaga men's basketball team is facing off against Alabama tomorrow at 10 a.m. and that game will be played right here on KREM 2. And just before tip-off, be sure to join us here for a special Bulldog Madness special that's beginning at 9 a.m.
And now, the Storm Tracker 2 Snow Report, sponsored by Platinum Mechanical.
Well, you made it to Friday, you made it to the weekend. If you're heading up to the mountains, here's a look at some of our conditions across the area. Mount Spokane with 1.5 new inches of snow over the past 48 hours. 49 degrees north and Silver Mountain with 1 inch. Schweitzer with 2 inches. Lookout Pass with 3 inches of new snow. Over the course of all the mountains, you're either going to be getting groomed conditions or packed powder.